are you?
Governor?
Good.
How you doing? Good to see you.
Yeah, I didn't know you were working on this project too.
Absolutely.
Everyone's here.
Everyone's here.
That's great. Gotta love it. How you guys doing?
This is the crew that put it in.
Hey, good job. Thank you. Nice trackers.
Yeah, not bad.
You installed a lot of them? You okay? Yeah. Good. How's it going? Good to see you.
This is our waiting room. We make people stand.
I'm Mandy Trainano. I'm Marketing Director at Integrated Solar. And before we continue, I would like to ask everybody to put your hands together and give a very warm welcome for your governor, for our governor, Peter Shumlin.
You know, it's good to be back on home turf and to see so many of my neighbors. I know you haven't seen much of me. They keep me kind of busy, but it's good to be home. And it's great to be here at Sojourn, where we're putting together preventative health care, recognizing that not all health care began when Louis Pasteur came along, but that we can go back earlier and find great things to help make people healthy in Vermont, as well as renewable energy. And those two, combined with the great work Paul is doing, helping to grow quality food that's sold locally to ensure that Vermont has the best food in America. This is all good. This is where it all comes together. This is where the rubber hits the road. I just want to say a couple things about this installation and how quickly we're moving, but how we cannot move quickly enough. If you look down the road, Paul Harlow's got a whole load of solar panels down there. Clayton's up the road here, the farm, generating a little bit of cow power. We're starting to make real progress. Vermont's leading the rest of the country in renewables. But I say we can't move fast enough, and the evidence is pretty simple. When you all were good enough from Windham County to elect me governor, I anticipated all kinds of challenges, but I didn't anticipate that I'd be managing 4 major storms. First, we had the biggest blizzard ever recorded in Vermont history. That's kind of a big one, last March. Then we had the floods of April. Then we had the floods of May. Had to bring in FEMA. President Obama helped us get resources in here. Lots of people lost their homes. Lots of people lost their businesses. Little brooks turned to huge gaping rivers. Huge damage was done. And then, of course, the 4th being in August with Irene, that I don't need to refresh your memories on in this part of Vermont. The point is this: if human beings don't believe that the storms that we've managed in the last 13 months as governor are an example of what lies ahead for us as a civilization, as we continue to burn fossil fuels, I would ask you to please rethink your position. It's an example of what lies ahead. If you look out the window right now, I can tell you this ain't the winters we had when Deb and I were kids in Westminster West. It ain't. We used to get snow. We didn't get storms like that. Things were different. It wasn't 46 degrees in January, and it wasn't 46 degrees in February. So we can't move fast enough with this installation, with all the other installations across Vermont. I say we can't move fast enough to harness the sun, the wind, the water through small hydro, our streams, our woods through biomass, and obviously our fields. We can do it in Vermont. We can show the rest of the country that you don't need an aging, leaking nuclear power plant to power your future. You don't need a power plant run by folks that can't tell the truth to power your future. We can do it with small, generated, community-based power. That's exactly what you're seeing here. Now, forgetting the climate for a minute, I want to say a word about economics. I was elected governor at a time when Vermonters on average are making the same money they were making a decade ago. And I think about that every single day, 7 days a week, when I wake up in this state to help get our economy moving. This is an example of how we create jobs. We are now exporting hundreds of millions of dollars from this little state to countries that mostly don't like us, that then destroy the planet when they burn what they sell us. We have a choice. We can continue to do that and make this planet unlivable for our kids and our grandkids, or we can do what we're doing today, harness the sun. It seems like a pretty clear choice. Now let me talk about the economics of this project. David Blittelsdorf, one of the co-founders of NRG System, was sitting in a restaurant in Burlington, Vermont one day, and he took out a napkin. And he drew on that napkin the solar trackers that we're about to clip the ribbon on. And he said, we don't need to build these in China. We don't need to build these in India. We're going to build them right here in Vermont. So there's the beginning of change. he figured that if he could design, as an engineer who grew up in Vermont, graduated from UVM as an engineering school, a solar tracker that would actually follow the sun instead of being fixed on a roof or fixed on the ground, he'd get 45% more power out of that solar panel than he would on a fixed unit. And guess what? That's what we're about to put the plugs together for. Built right here in Vermont, empowering Vermonters, hiring Vermonters, feeding Vermont families. Then you have Andy Kay and his team. They come in and they install the unit. Every single penny stays in Vermont. Then Green Mountain Power hooks it up to the lines, and all their linemen and women stay in Vermont. Then we sell the juice, any excess juice that isn't used by Sojourn, to other Vermonters. Now it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out this is creating jobs. Guess what? Our unemployment rate from the peak of the recession has gone from almost 8% to 5.1. Where these solar panels were built, Chittenden County, they have the 4th lowest unemployment rate right now in America. In America. We're making progress. We're digging out. If anyone doesn't believe that moving to small, community-based renewables creates jobs and economic opportunities for the people of the wisdom to engineer them, put them up, and use them, I would suggest you're missing out on the next huge evolution that's going to power our economy and make this planet more livable for my kids, for your kids, and for future generations. So, huge opportunity. My hat's off to Sojourn and the entire team for making this step. We're going to win this battle by 1,000 shots like this one that allows us to achieve energy independence in Vermont faster than the other 49 states, create jobs and economic opportunities. So my hat is off to all of you. Let's plug the plugs.
All right.